Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be doing a 1 hour Vinyasa class, a Vinyasa style. And what Vinyasa means is V is specific or with intention, and Nyasa is placement. And so the traditional Vinyasa style practice is a movement practice. My favorite description of Vinyasa is actually by Shiva Ray, and she calls it consciousness in motion. And so we're going to be moving our bodies today in a fluid motion, but mindfully as well, working with the breath as we go. So for your practice today, you will need a couple of blocks if you have them. If you have yoga prop blocks, then that's great. If not, use something that's similar shaped. If you have some thick bound books, or if you have like a solid square shape, essentially is all you need for this practice. And if you have two of them, even better. So we're going to take these and have them at the top of the mat, and then we're going to start this practice from standing. So what we want to do is we're going to stand facing the short edge of our mat. Our feet, we want them to be hip width apart. So sometimes when we're standing, we have our feet together. We want, in this particular starting pose, we want the feet to be hip width apart so that the feet stack underneath our hips. Okay? So turning towards that sharp, short edge, having the feet hip width apart, we can start by just gently letting the weight rest in one leg and then the other, and then finding that middle point of weight distribution between the 2 feet, and then also moving forward and back and noticing how that feels in your body as well, and then finding that midpoint there. And then from here, lift through the toes. Really feel those 3 grounding points at the bottom of each foot. So under the big toe in the big toe mound, under the pinky toe in the pinky toe mound, and in the center of your heel. Those are the 3 points that we're going to use to really ground in. And then let the toes rest down, let them just relax. We want to let the knees be soft so that they can stack above the ankles so that the knees aren't locked back. So let them be soft. And then from here, we're going to feel the hips stack over top of the knees. And then feel your sternum stack over top of your hips and your chin stack over top of your sternum so that we're standing up nice and tall. Now, we're going to stand here, begin to feel that grounding, and then we're going to bring some subtlety into this as well. So as you stand and you feel those 3 points, then we're going to begin to allow the awareness to create some different movement in the body. So feel the shins begin to lift up from the ankles, and then feel the knees lift up towards the thighs. Feel the thighs lift up towards the hips. Feel the belly open up, lifting from the front of the pubic bone up towards the sternum. And then the sternum up, smoothing up towards the chin. Feel the crown of the head reach high up. And then on the back line of the body, we want to feel a smoothness downward. So feel the gentle back of your neck curve down towards the shoulder blades. Feel the shoulder blades slide down towards your hips. Feel your hips and seat slide down towards the backs of your knees. And then feel the backs of your knees slide down towards the heels, really grounding in. And then on the sides of our body, feel an upward lifting through the inside of the leg. So feel that arch of the foot lift up towards the knee, and then feel the knee lift up towards your groin. And then feel a downward smoothing on the outside of the body. Feel the shoulders slide down. Feel the fingertips slide down towards the knees. Feel the outside line of the body slide down, the knees sliding down towards the ankle. So we have these balancing forces happening in the body, and we haven't even begun to move yet. And as we focus our attention here, begin to also connect into your natural breathing. Notice what your breathing feels like today. And as you land with your natural breath, we're going to begin to draw it out, begin to shape it, begin to elongate the breath. And so as you breathe in, breathe the air in through the nose and feel it move downward, moving down into that low belly, moving all the way down, if you can imagine, to the base of your pelvis. And feel that expansion through the belly as the air moves in. As you exhale, feel a gentle lift from the bottom of the pelvis as the air moves up and out. Feel a gentle contraction as that air moves up and out. So begin to land here with your breath, taking a nice big inhale in, moving down, expanding. And as you exhale, contracting, moving up. And as this becomes comfortable, we can expand and elongate the breath a little bit more. So as you inhale, draw the air in, down, expanding through the pelvic bowl. Feel as you continue to inhale, the breath move up into the ribs, expanding out through the ribs. As you exhale, feel that gentle contraction and lift through the pelvic bowl. Feel that gentle contraction, squeezing that air up and out of the nose. And if this feels comfortable, we can begin to draw a little bit longer in the breath. So as we inhale, in and down, expanding, filling into the ribs, expanding, filling all the way up into the top of the chest, to the top of the lungs and the back line of the body, feeling that expansion. And then as you exhale, belly contracts, lifts, ribs contract, lift, chest relax, lift. Feel that containment, that steadiness and stability. And find your breath rhythm here. And as you land in your breath, connect your mind also into your heart space. And see if there's an intention that you would like to set for your practice today. Some seed, some thought, some idea that you would like to cultivate, like to manifest. Using all of this energy, this prana that we're about to generate can be a powerful tool. And so having an intention of things that we would like to see grow, like a farmer tilling a seed, planting that seed, watching it, watering it, feeding it, letting it grow. Connect to your heart and see what that intention is. Some of us have intentions of compassion or loving kindness. Some of us want to be more patient, more calm. Some of us want to be able to be stronger or to be softer. Lots of things. Connect into your heart, see what your intention is. And when your heart lands on that word, let yourself breathe that word in. Let it fill into your body as you inhale. And as you exhale, feel that contraction. Feel the word move out with your breath, moving into the space around you, so you're fully enveloped in your own intention. And take 3 more full breaths with that intention. And then after the 3rd breath, the next inhale, we're going to start with what we call sun breath. So as we inhale, extend through the fingertips, reach the arms up, really elongating, letting your body fill as you breathe in. Bring the palms together, and as you exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. So we're going to start here. Inhale, nice big swoop like you're capturing energy, and as you exhale, bringing it down into your body. At this point, you may want to lift through the heart. Let your gaze look up at the fingertips as you exhale, bringing the hands down. We're going to add a little bit of change in the movement. So as we inhale, reach out and around. This time as we exhale, drop your right arm down to your thigh, plant into the feet. As you exhale, we're going to lean into that right side. Let the left arm come up overhead. Inhale, come back through center, get nice and long. And as you exhale, the left arm's going to come down, reaching overhead. We're going to flow from side to side using the inhale to get nice and tall and the exhale to bend into that side body. So moving with your breath. Flowing one more time from side to side. And then we'll inhale, reach back up, come back into that sun breath flow. Arms out and around as we inhale. Exhale, palms together down through heart center on the exhale. All right, here's where I'm going to invite you to look forward, finding a focus point in front of you. We call it a drishti. Something that your eyes can land on that allows you to find that internal focus. So not something that's moving, but either a spot on the floor a few feet ahead, or on the wall ahead of you, or on the ceiling ahead of you. And once you find that spot, we're going to begin to play with that balance in the feet again. So as we inhale, keeping the eyes on that spot, we'll lift up onto the toes, and then as we exhale, let the heels come back down. So inhale, lift. Exhale, come back down. Keep moving with your breath. And we're going to move and add on a second component. And so as we inhale, lift, and as we exhale and the hands come down to our hearts, the heels lower, we're going to bend through the knees, setting the hips back so that the knees stack over top of the hips, and come into our chair pose. As we inhale, we're going to press through the feet, coming all the way forward, up onto the toes. And as you exhale, sinking the hips back, the weight transfers back more into the heels. Inhale, lift up. One more time around. And on the next exhale, sit your hips back, stay in your chair, take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to reach the hands forward. Let the hips lift, coming into your forward fold. Now let the knees be soft to allow the back line of the body to gently open. And from here we can breathe, gently swaying from side to side, playing with that weight in the feet. Let yourself round and hang. Maybe give the head a little shake yes, and a little shake no. And then bring the hands to your shins. Inhale, lift up. Let the spine find a nice long neutral spine. And then as you exhale, that air leaves your belly, let yourself gently waterfall back forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. We're going to do that with the breath for a few times. On the next inhale, we'll lift up. And as we exhale, let yourself come forward. Bend the knees enough to plant the palms of the hands. We're going to step one foot back and then the other. So pressing through the heels, press through the crown of the head. Find a nice long spine. Take 3 full breaths here in plank. And then slowly lower your knees. We're going to set the hips all the way back towards the heels. Let your torso come forward. Breathe in child's pose. Maybe bring the hands underneath the forehead. One more breath here. And then bring the hands forward and shift the hips back to what we call table pose. So for this table pose, we want to make sure that the joints of the body feel okay and not in pain. So spreading the palms wide, we can stack the wrists under the elbows and the elbows under the shoulders. However, if there's tenderness in the wrists, we can either get a blanket for underneath the hands, we can walk the hands ahead of the shoulders so there's a little less compression. Or we can also come into fists as well. Another option to take that pain out. The knees we want to stack back underneath the hips. And when we land in our pose, press the crown of the head forward, tail goes back, and take that nice deep breath. On your next exhale, we're going to exhale, tuck your tail under so the tail draws back towards the knees. Begin to press into the hands, lifting the spine up, and let your head hang in between your arms. And as you inhale, lift the tail up towards the ceiling. Let your belly fill as it draws towards the earth. Roll the shoulders back and lift through your heart, coming into our cow pose. Exhale, tail tucks, spine lifts, head hangs. Inhale, tail lifts, belly fills, heart lifts forward. So flowing in between your cat and cow. On your next inhale, come back to neutral table. We're going to curl the toes under of the feet, and then we're going to come back into that cat-cow flow, but we're going to add an additional component. So as we exhale, we're going to tuck the tail under, lift through the spine, and set the hips back towards those heels. Feel that gentle opening through the shin bones. As you inhale, draw the elbows in, bend through the elbows, leading with the crown of the head. Gently let the body lead forward, shifting the hips back and up into our cow pose. Exhale, rounding up, drawing back. Inhale, drawing forward, leading with the crown, coming up. So playing with that. Okay, you'll take another inhale, let yourself draw forward. As we exhale this time, we're going to shift the hips back, press through the palms, lift the knees, and lift the hips all the way up and back to that downward facing dog. You can be soft through the knees, let the knees be bent to really lift through the tail. And then from here, we're going to come into a little bit of a flow. As we inhale, lift onto the toes, shift the weight forward, and as you exhale, let the heels drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. One more time. And then look forward in between your hands and gently bend the knees, walking the feet forward, letting them land back in that hip width apart. And then we'll bring the hands to the shins, lift up, come up into that halfway lift. And then as we exhale, we'll waterfall forward again. Let's do that for a couple breaths. Inhale. Okay, on the next inhale, this time we're going to bend the knees, sink the hips back into that chair. Bring the hands to the heart. As we inhale, we'll lift up, pressing into the feet. Draw the arms out, reach up. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Take 3 full breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back into that tippy toe chair flow again. So as we inhale, find your focus spot, reach up. As you exhale, bend through the knees, sinking the hips back, finding that chair. And then on the next inhale, press up, lift up. And as we exhale, sink the hips, bend through the knees, let the belly come all the way down to the thighs, bring the hands to the ground and slowly lift the hips and hang. We're going to bring the hands to the shins, come up, lift up that halfway again, press through the crown, find that nice long flat back. And exhale, let yourself waterfall forward, bend the knees, plant the palms, step 1 foot back and then the other. Take 3 full breaths, pressing the crown of the head away from the heels. Breathe deep into your belly. And then slowly come down to the knees. Set the hips all the way back. Take 3 full breaths in child's pose. Reaching the palms forward. As we inhale, we'll come back to that neutral table. Now for this round, I'm going to give you an option. So we can either come into our cat-cow flow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. We can come into our little bit of a cat-cow flow as we circle back and forth. The other option is as we exhale, we can uncurl the toes, sink the hips all the way back towards the heels, reach the arms far forward so that when we inhale, we can round back forward. And then as the hips drop, roll the shoulders back, lift through the crown of the head. And then as we exhale, rounding the spine, gently rolling back. One more round, and then whichever flow you chose, as we exhale back, curl your toes under, draw the elbows in, lift through the hips, and shift them up and back to that downward facing dog. Again, keep the knees as soft as you need to lift that tail high. And then we're going to rest into the left foot. As we inhale, take the right leg up and back. As you exhale, bring that right knee in towards the chest. Let your torso flow forward. Inhale, lift up and back. Exhale, float forward. And one more time, inhale, lift. As we exhale, we're going to bring that leg through. Now you might need some assistance, and that's okay, because I do too. All right, from this long lunge, this is where we might want to grab the blocks. So bringing the blocks to either side, underneath, stacking them underneath the shoulders. The back left heel is still lifted. The right knee, when we lunge our hips forward, we want to make sure that the knee stacks over the ankle for the most stability. Now, if the knee moves ahead of the ankle, let's move that foot forward so that when we lunge in, we have that stability. So, with the arms supported, let's inhale. Feel the crown draw away from the tail. Find that long spine first. And then as we exhale, we're going to lunge the hips forward, sinking the hips, lifting through the heart. As we inhale, shift the hips back, press through that right foot, extend that right leg, and let the left heel drop towards the floor. Exhale, lunge forward, heart lifts. Inhale, hip shift back, left heel drops. And then on your next exhale, slowly lower that left knee down. We're going to draw that right foot back, release those blocks, and then gently sink the hips back towards the heels, coming into that child's pose. While you breathe here, breathe that deep belly breathing, come back to your intention. And then reach the palms forward. We're going to inhale, come back to that table. Curl the toes under, draw the elbows in. As you exhale, lift the knees and then shift the hips all the way up and back. From here, we're going to plant into that right foot. As we inhale, take the left foot up and back. Exhale, left knee floats into the chest, the weight lifts forward. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to chest. One more time, inhale, up and back. Exhale. Again, with a little help from my friends, my hands. Bring the left foot through. All right, so we're on this left side. So again, check in. When you bend into that left knee, does it stack over the ankle? Perfect. All right. So first, inhale, crown away from the tail, shoulders out of the ears, get long. And then as you exhale, let the hips move forward. Inhale, release that bend. Press through that left foot, extending that left leg. Let the right heel drop. Let the torso come towards that left thigh. Exhale, hips move forward. Inhale, hips shift back. Move with your breath. All right, on your next exhale, when that right knee comes, let it drop down. We're going to bring the left leg back. Now, for this next piece, we're going to sit with the hips back on the heels, slowly coming up to seated. Now, if this is uncomfortable, which it could very well be, because for some of us thick ladies, or thick gentlemen, or thick whoever, thick people, some of our thighs are pretty thick, and so it can lessen the circulation when we set our hips back towards the heels. So what I like to do is, again, I take these blocks and moving my legs that hip width apart, I can tuck the blocks, stacking them underneath, sliding them through so that they line up with my shins, and then gently sit on top of the blocks. So from this position, my hips are elevated off my heels and my legs can still circulate nice and fine, so there's none of that pinching or holding. So from the seated position, let's do the same thing that we did from our Tadasana position, our mountain standing position. So begin with the hips. Let the hips rock back and let them rock forward and let them rock side to side until we can find those two seat bones that are on the very base of our pelvis and feel them like little electrical plugs plugging into either that block or into the backs of your legs if you're not using blocks. Okay, and then from here, we'll feel that upward lift through the front line of the body. Crown lifts up, front of the skin slides upward, and then feeling that downward lift on the back line of the body. So letting the shoulders slide down, that skin slide down towards the heels, and then breathing. Sorry, I have a bit of a foot cramp. All right, and when we've established that position, we're going to come back to that same sun breath that we did from our standing position. So inhale, reach the fingertips out and around. Let the palms come together, and then exhale, let the hands float down through the heart. Nice and easy. And then we're going to come into that side to side flow. So the right arm can come down. This time the left hand can come to the head. Gently reach in, bending into that side body. Inhale, let the arms cartwheel across. Left hand comes down, flowing from side to side. All right, we're going to switch the flow up just a little bit. And so after your left side, come back to center. We're going to bring the palms together at the heart. Let your middle finger rest under your chin, and let the thumb rest on your chest, on your breastbone. Take that nice deep inhale here, and as we exhale, keep that chin aligned, keep those fingertips aligned, and we're going to twist towards the right. So let your belly, ribs, and heart move towards the right. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, left. Twisting from side to side. Now I like to keep the hands in this position because what tends to happen is when you ask someone to twist, they turn their head. And then their poor body, their whole torso doesn't see the benefit because we know that the head can twist. But the body needs the twisting to help bring out the organs, to help detoxify, help cleanse, help to release any excess heat, and to also build strength, to build containership. So twists are super important. Every inhale, use the inhale to draw the crown of the head away from the tail before you twist to the other side. One more time from side to side. So coming back to center, we're going to bring the hands down to the thighs. This time we're going to take the navel, the belly button, and we're going to begin to draw big circles with it. So let the belly button roll to the side and then forward and then back. Try and keep your seat planted. Try and let the shoulders relax, letting this whole movement come from the belly. We were talking about digestion and releasing heat and detoxifying. Well, this will help, stimulate our Agni, our digestive fire, helping us to digest and to move things along and to also process. So digestion can have many terms, many meanings. And then gently begin to make the circles in the opposite direction. Come back to center. We're going to take one more sun breath. Inhale in, get nice and tall. Exhale, brings the palms together at the heart. From Anjali Mudra, with the palms together, we're going to separate the fingers, keeping the pinky finger and the thumb connected, allowing the thumbs to rest on the breastbone, coming into our Padme Mudra, our Lotus Mudra. Take some deep breaths here, connecting back to your intention, connecting back to that original seed, that original idea. And as you inhale in, place that seed inside your lotus, inside your Padme. One more breath. And as you exhale, gently let the fingertips close, sealing that intention in. All right, from here, we're going to bring the hands, let the hips come forward. If you have props or supports underneath you, gently let them come out to the side. And then we're going to walk the hands to one side to let the hip come down and gently move the legs out and around. So we're going to place the seat in the center of our mat. If you have a block or what we call a tadpole or a small bolster nearby, let's have that at the side of the mat because we're going to use that once we're down. Okay, placing the soles of the feet onto your mat, hang on to the backs of your thighs, tuck your chin, let your spine round, and gently roll all the way down. I didn't quite scooch to the center. All right, so from here, from our reclined position, let's draw one knee at a time up into the chest. Give them a nice big hug. And then come back to center, hanging on to the left knee. As we inhale, we're going to extend the right foot up towards the ceiling. Press through the heel. As we exhale, gently arc the foot and begin to lower the heel down towards the floor as you exhale. As the heel's just above the floor, we're going to inhale, draw that foot all the way back up, nice and slow. Exhale, bend the right knee into the chest. Switch sides. Inhale, left foot extends. As we exhale, slowly arc it down towards the floor. Hover above the floor. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale into chest. Keep flowing with breath. Inhale, lift. One more time from side to side. then bring the hands to the knees. We're going to begin to circle the legs inside the hips. So let the legs move out and apart and then in together. And then move in the opposite direction. And then come back to center. Give them one last squeeze in. We're going to bring each foot down to the mat. Bring the right hip or the right heel behind the right seat and the left heel behind the left seat. Take your arms, place the palms down beside the hips. We're going to bend the arms into what my friend and teacher Mona calls robot arms, which is pretty funny. Anyways, from here, coming into our robot arms, we're going to press into the backs of the arms, press into the elbows in order to lift the chest and draw the shoulder blades together in the back, and then let your chest relax. Then we can bring the palms of the hands down to the floor. Let those feet be about hip width apart. Let the knees point up towards the ceiling. And we're going to press in to the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands, the shoulder blades, and the base of the neck, or base of the head, sorry, not the neck at all. And then as we inhale, gently begin to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, gently let the spine roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae, letting the tail land last. So flowing with breath, inhale, press up. Exhale, rolling down. On the next inhale, and this is where we're going to want to have our little block or our prop nearby. As we inhale, lift the hips up. We're going to slide either that block or prop underneath where our sacrum is. And the sacrum is that tail at the base of your spine. So we don't want the prop in the low back. We want it under that seat. And so as we gently roll down, then the hips are slightly elevated. Again, keep the palms down into the ground for support. Make sure those shoulder blades are rolled back so that we do still have that little bit of an arch through the chest. And then one knee at a time, we're going to draw the knees up into the chest and then gently bring the feet up towards the ceiling, coming into our supported shoulder stand. Breathe here, relax. It might feel good to move through some ankle circles here. Make sure you do both directions. And then let the feet rest. Take 5 more deep breaths here. Notice if you want to rush them as the feet get tingly. Try to resist that. And then gently let the knees come back into the chest. 1 foot at a time, bring the feet down to the mat for support. And then gently lift the hips enough just to slide the prop out and roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Let the tail land. Take 3 deep breaths here. And then after the 3rd breath, we're going to move the arms apart. So either extended fully. If you don't have that space, we can bend the elbows, again, almost like those robot arms, but we're bringing them out to the sides, letting the backs of the hands rest. Whatever position you choose, let your shoulder blades again rest into the mat. As we exhale, we're going to slowly begin to lower our knees together down towards the right. Oh, if you have a proper support, move that out of the way. And the knees might splay as they come down, and that's okay. As you continue to exhale, we're going to raise that left knee up towards the right elbow. And then inhale, lower it back down, come back into center. Exhale, right side. Let the knees fall to the right, and then let the right knee draw up towards that left elbow. So we're going to alternate from side to side, inhaling through center, exhaling into the twist, inhaling back to center, exhaling into the twist. Do a couple more on each side. And then coming back to center, we're going to move right into a posture of integration. So what I mean by that is we're going to allow a posture to land in that allows everything to circulate and land inside our body. So a lot of people at this point choose corpse pose or shavasana, which is where the arms are down beside the body, palms either up or down, depending on what feels best in the arms. Arms are slightly away from the body, and we can slide a foot down towards each corner. Let there be space between the legs. Relax the legs so that the toes turn slightly out, and just rest here. Now, if you have low back issues, what might feel nice instead is to keep the knees bent, but bring the feet again out wide, closer towards that edge of your mat on either side, and then let the knees fall in together so that the bones of your body can actually hold them up so that the muscles can relax. Some people like to have a bolster or a prop tucked underneath the knees. Some people like a blanket, especially in winter and in fall. Whatever you choose, choose a pose again where you can find stillness. Now, I'm going to invite you to find that pose, and I'm going to come to sit upright. So stay lying down. All right, so from your integration pose, close through your eyes if it feels safe. Let yourself sink in and begin to notice and experience what is going on in the body. See if you can feel that prana, that energy that we created, and feel it setting into your being. And then let yourself relax. Let the breath that we shaped for practice gently disappear, and naturally breathe your own breath. And notice what that feels like. Notice where it travels. Notice what qualities it has, whether it's cool or warm, soft or rough, sticky, smooth. And then from here, allow your awareness to come back to your heart, come back to that intention that we set at the beginning of practice. And integration, the idea of this is to just enjoy the experience, to have conscious relaxation. So allow your mind to connect with your intention and just notice your natural breathing, resting here for a few moments. I'll bring you back when the time is right, but just enjoy this experience of getting to explore you now in the present moment. Mind has wandered, very gently begin to invite it back to your breath. And as your awareness begins to come back, it might feel nice to start any movement in the body at the extremities. So wiggling through the fingers, wiggling through the toes, just reconnecting here. And then making any movement that feels right, that's a little bit bigger, maybe wrist circles, ankle circles, and then eventually maybe stretching, bringing the knees into the chest, giving them a nice big hug, moving in your own pace, your own time. And then when you're ready, allow yourself to roll to your side body, letting an arm or a prop support your head and neck as you rest on the side of your body. And take a couple breaths here. And then very gently Use the hand that's on top to press into the floor. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Round your spine as you gently roll up to seated. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for sharing your time and energy. We'll close the practice with a round of Om, how I always close my practices, just to seal this energy in for yourself. Whether you choose to participate at home is entirely up to you. So we can sit together though, sitting up nice and tall. Connect back into your natural breath. And then we'll inhale together for Om. So inhaling. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.